Hi, I'm Jenny Kanoki, and this is my Module 1 for AEP 800. So a little about me, my schooling, I went to Pretty Prairie USD 311 from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. I graduated in 2009 and I participated in a lot of sports and events all throughout middle school and high school. I carried on that mindset to Wichita State, where I went for my first 2 years of school. I ran track and cheered there. And then I went on to K-State to finish off my schooling. And I graduated in 2014 with a degree in elementary education. And while I was there, I was on the cheer team at K-State. And then now I am getting my master's in administration from Fort Hays. My professional career, I teach at Fairfield USD 310. I'm going on my 5th year. Fairfield's about 25 minutes from my hometown of Pretty Prairie, so we're in the same league. My first year I taught 2nd grade, and ever since then, for the last 4 years, I've been in 1st grade, which is, I have a really soft spot for 1st grade. I really enjoy it. We have small class sizes at Fairfield, and so that's wonderful. And I'm also the high school volleyball coach and cheer coach, and I'm interested in becoming the athletic director someday. And so basically for my childhood, I've just kept the same motto that I saw my parents do that I also had myself, and I'm just involved in a lot and I'm really busy. So for my personal life, I'm married to my best friend, Steven, and he farms and trucks. Those are our 2 dogs, Roxy on the left, Boone on the right. And on Tuesday of this past week, we signed papers to buy our first house. And we are also expecting our first child, a boy, in February. And so we are very excited to add the 4th generation of Kanoki Farms to the family tree. And so we've just had lots and lots of adulting and lots of questions to ask people in the past few weeks and months. For the first question that we focused on, as a future district leader, how would you identify technology resources that support and achieve the mission, vision, goals, and core values of your district? So at Fairfield, our vision statement is training tomorrow's leaders today. And we are one-to-one for student technology. So if we're focusing on technology and Fairfield's mission and vision for that, we have an amazing Chief Technology Officer. That's not quite what we call him, but that's what the first article referred to those people as. Our technology man, Scott Fleming, is just amazing. He's super insightful and resourceful. He knows our district's budget. He knows what things he should be looking for our students and staff. He's constantly pushing himself to attend conferences and to look into things that we could utilize at our district. And I just can't say enough about him. He truly is amazing. We have professional development that is provided for some pieces, like we've had some professional development days over Google Classrooms. And right now there is a push district-wide for student project-based learning, which we call PBLs. And so a lot of those, especially for the older kids, utilize technology, and those teachers are being encouraged to let students pick what tools they want to use in that project so that they can showcase their talents in ways that they're comfortable with. As a future district leader, how would you promote the effective use of technology in teaching and learning? And how would you have students access technology tools? So first and foremost, as I said, we have an amazing technology man, Scott. And so our administration works really well with him. They truly trust him to pick, what things would work well in our district and what things would help us progress towards the future of technology. And so I think that is especially crucial, is to have somebody who is knowledgeable in technology, and you have to have an open communication with that person, and you have to trust that person. And I definitely believe Fairfield has that going for them right now. We have an amazing technology person in our corner that really helps out our administration and our students and staff. And then, so as a committee, being like your CTO person and administration, continue to search for ways to push the district further, push for PBLs, push for things such as student e-portfolios, things where they can take with them out the door after they graduate and go to college. Teach ways that we can actually help our students past the classrooms in our school, ways that we can help them get to college or whatever course they choose in life and continue to benefit from the technology tools that we have shown them. As a future district leader, how would you support teachers in the use of technology in instruction and assessment of student learning? So, effective professional development days are super crucial. I think it's crucial to have a professional come to your campus and do demonstrations for staff members on, new tools that are out there, new apps, new websites, things that they can just immediately start using in their classroom. I also think that you need to allow collaboration amongst staff members because you have smart people right there in front of you, and you need to allow them to talk to each other and to showcase to each other what they already know and what they're already using in their classrooms. And I'm really big on communication. And so I think that administration definitely needs to communicate their technology expectations to students and staff members as far as how much you expect them to be using it. When you walk into a classroom to conduct an evaluation, how often would you like to see the students and the teachers using technology? And then the biggest thing is awareness. We have students that have grown up with the internet, but that's a blessing and a curse. They're not always as careful as they should be on the internet. And so sadly, we have some parents that are not teaching that awareness at home. And so we need to make sure that at school, we have our websites and everything protected, of course, but that we're also just taking the time to teach our students how to be aware of what they post and what they say online and how it can affect themselves and others and their future. How would you assist teachers with differentiated teaching strategies using educational technologies? So, as I have already hit on, professional development is super crucial. Both inviting somebody to come to campus to teach things, but then also encouraging teachers to, take a paid day of leave and get a sub and go seek out, some conferences where people are teaching about technology that those teachers can go learn from and start using in their classrooms. And then I think it's really important when you're conducting evaluations to keep an open mind that everybody views technology different and everybody interprets it different. And so I think it's really important if you have a website introduced or an app introduced, keep in mind that, everybody's probably going to use it in a little bit different way. And unless you have stated just clear outlined, bulleted points, you need to keep in mind that everybody's going to use it differently and that's not a bad thing. How do you model personal and professional ethics, integrity, justice, and fairness in terms of appropriate technology use? So, as with everything in life, pick your battles and find balance. If you wanted to get on the internet and get into an argument every single day, it would not be that hard. And sadly, school website pages can be that way. We have it on our school website page. Sometimes we have parents that get on our Facebook page and say things that are, not necessarily needed or maybe a little bit more direct. And so I think that school website pages are a wonderful thing to have. Facebook is such a popular thing, Twitter and all that. Whatever your school chooses to use as a social media platform, I think it can be wonderful. I think it just needs to be monitored and you need to set the tone. If a parent gets a little bit out of hand, administration needs to address it immediately and you need to set the tone for what is expected on your school website and social media pages. And since I have students at such a young age in my classroom, they're not really allowed to get on just any website that they want because I literally have to teach them how to type in an email. They don't even know how to even type in my email. And so they don't have a whole lot of freedom. They do like to be able to get on whatever website they have, but they already have pre-tabbed websites up at the top. And so if I find a new website that I like, I just call Scott and I'm like, hey, can you put this website on? And he gets on his computer and he gets onto his program that allows him to put the tab up on all of my kids' computers. And it's amazing. And so I think as far as my school and myself, we do a really good job of modeling what we expect for our school as far as communication and what we expect our staff members to do with the technology that we have. So to critique my own personal use of technology, I am positive and cautious, nothing too personal. I share details of my life, like, we're having a baby and whatnot, but nothing too personal. I don't share the details of my life or check into places. I am modest and professional for my audience. I have parents of students, parents of my athletes. I don't allow students or athletes to add me on any social media website until after they have graduated. And so even after they've graduated and they're an adult and they're, 19 or so, I don't want them to suddenly see this different side of me. I want to be the same authentic person that they knew in school. And I love technology. It's amazing for things like, this class or staying connected with people or, pushing kids to be creative. But I think, just as I've said earlier, balance. I feel sometimes like we overuse technology and we forget how to have conversations face to face with each other. Students forget how to solve problems face to face. And so I think at times we overuse technology. So critique my professional use of technology. I use it daily for both myself and my students. I'm very comfortable with the websites that I use, but I need to branch out and find more and, integrate more websites into my classroom and to keep my kids just on their toes, not necessarily knowing what to expect when they're opening up their computers. At times, I feel like technology is too ingrained in me and my classroom. For example, if the internet's a little bit glitchy that day, there's been days where I've almost blanked out and I'm like, what do I do? How do I teach this? And so I need to stay on my toes and, remember that, technology is amazing and it can enhance lessons, but I can't get too stuck on it just in case situations like that happen. And students love it when I give them the freedom to choose what website they can get on if they're, pre-tabbed tabs up there at the top. And so I like to let them do that every now and then because, they're the same age, but they all have such different personalities of what they enjoy being on when they get the chance to choose their own website. So what do I propose will help improve or enhance the current usage of educational technology resources in order to improve student achievement and support continuous school improvement in my classroom, school, district, community? So more instructed professional development. We've had professional development at my school, but it's been really geared towards the upper grades, and I think that's great. Those people definitely, the middle school and high school teachers, they need to, use things like Google Classrooms and Google Docs and Google Slides and all of those amazing things that students need to, have, their feet kind of wet in when they go to college. But then also, I would like to have some professional development geared towards us younger teachers, what websites and apps that are specifically for the younger students. I would like to have more knowledge and instruction on some of those things. And then I think we need to encourage teachers to keep seeking out professional development opportunities outside of the district. I need to conduct my own research during my planning periods instead of, waiting for somebody to do it for me. I need to take advantage of some of my planning time, and I need to, find a math skill or a reading skill that I'm going to be working on with my kids and, do some quick research of my own and see if I can find some apps and websites that are going to help me teach that skill and make it more exciting for my students. And then, collaborate with fellow teachers on what they use in their classrooms. We have, smart, genius people all around us in schools. And, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. A lot of times we just need to open our classroom door and go seek somebody out and maybe swallow our pride a little bit and be like, hey, can you help me with this? And so I really enjoyed reading the websites and the articles because they struck me in different ways as far as an administrator, as far as the amazingness of technology and just the ways that we need to encourage students to use it, but also be careful. So thank you for watching.